There's nothing better than using technology to bring classic artwork to life. Before we kick off this review, my name is Chris and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it if you hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. This way you'll stay up to date with more fun reviews uploaded weekly. We've all heard of Vincent van Gogh, but the vlog you're about to watch is nothing like you've never seen before. I'm truly happy with how this vlog turned out, and it's one of my favorites. But before we start the vlog, check out my 3 suggestions for watching. Hope you enjoy the vlog, and make sure you stay after so you can learn more about Van Gogh and my overall thoughts. Let's go. So many people are aware of his artwork, but most may not know about the artist himself. Vincent van Gogh was a Dutch post-impressionist painter. Now, Impressionism was an art movement back in the 19th century, which is based on the practice of painting outdoors and on the spot, rather than in a studio painting from sketches. Pretty much the art that they created reflected the world that they lived in. He was born in 1853 in the Netherlands and died in 1890 at only the age of 37, and he also died in the hands of his brother Theo. And Theo, unfortunately, also passed away 6 months after. Van Gogh's life was very sad and unfortunate, but it was also beautiful with how he saw the world. He lived with mental illness throughout his life, which included hallucinations, seizures, and depression. He also spent most of his adult life in poverty, and whatever money he did make, he would put it back into his art supplies. But because of this, his diet was horrible, mainly eating bread and drinking coffee and alcohol, plus he smoked a lot. Some of you may have heard of this, but there's actually a rumor that Van Gogh cut off his own ear after getting into an argument with his friend. However, It's still a rumor of how that went down between the two friends, whether if he cut his ear off or if his friend cut his ear off. But regardless, it sounds like my man cut off his ear or a piece of his ear, which is a crazy story. Now, after this scuffle with his friend, he checked himself into an asylum, and while he was in that asylum is where he actually created the masterpiece Starry Night. Now, I just found this out, but Starry Night is actually his viewpoint of not just one night or one single day, it's actually several days and different times of the day, including weather changes, all in one painting. And Starry Night is absolutely one of my favorite paintings, as I'm sure with many of you. And many people also say that this is obviously a masterpiece. However, Van Gogh thought of this piece and also some of his other work as failures. There's also a rumor about his death, whether if he shot himself in the chest or if there was a local teenager who teased him shot him. The bullet, however, passed through his chest, which didn't really do much damage. However, the doctors at the time couldn't remove the bullet, and he ended up passing away 2 days later due to that inflicted wound. And the last words that he ever spoke was actually to his brother, and he ended up saying that the sadness will last forever. And after finding out about this, I mean, that just sounds so sad, and I just can't believe what they were going through at that time. Now, Van Gogh never really got full recognition for his work until the last 2 years of his life, and then after he passed, his brother, although he lived on for like another 6 months, he made it his life mission to keep promoting his brother's art. I've also learned that before Van Gogh dedicated his life to his true calling and passion, that he went through several jobs in his career, and he failed at all of them, which I'm sure many of us could relate to, especially starting out in the real world. But once he got on his grind and purpose, he was able to paint almost 900 paintings in just 10 years. Now, he struggled to afford paid models, and he also had a very small social circle, so within 3 years, he also did self-portraits of himself 43 times. He did 43 self-portraits. I mean, you could kind of view this guy as the first creator of the selfie. But besides that, as you saw from the vlog, he loved to paint nature, from flowers to landscapes to portraits, and overall what he saw in everyday life. His art style was very striking with the creative colors he used and the assertive brushwork. He included so much of his personal life into his artwork, and when you think about it, he pretty much laid the foundation for modern art. Now, the event that was shown in the vlog that put all this together is called Beyond Van Gogh, the Immersive Experience, and they're actually only held at temporary locations throughout the world. If you go on their websites, you can see their upcoming locations. And for me, I saw this months back. It was in Sarasota, Florida, but unfortunately they're no longer there at the moment. I really loved how we live in a modern society of technology and how we are able to use that technology of digital media to enhance and include his art. Along, if you were there, they had so much of this beautiful music that went along with the art, with the transitions. And the music was kind of similar to the nice song that I chose for this vlog. And from the vlog, you may have noticed, I loved how they used the technology to transition his art from the side screens down onto the floor. Now, I actually went by myself to this, and it was my first time going to a museum or art exhibit by myself. I've done movie theaters by myself plenty of times, so doing this my first time, it did feel strange, but I was proud that I did at the end of the day. And I had such a great time. And sometimes while you're there, you may think people are looking at you strange, but really when you sit back and think about it, they're probably looking at you out of respect because you actually had the courage to show up by yourself. And you know, if you're like me or anyone and you don't have no one to go with, like at a certain time of the month, then I would say just go by yourself, because it's really not as bad as you think. Trust me, afterwards you'll be so happy you did, and you'll have a great time as I did. They even had a decent gift shop with his art displayed on different types of products, such as this hat I bought and this cool little bookmark. Not going to tell you the price, okay? I'm not going to tell you the price. It's a good bookmark. It's still not bent yet. I kept it nice and full. It's good. It's going to stay like this for as long as I can, okay? Because it's nice and it costs a little money, you know, but it's nice. Now, the time that you're allowed to spend at this exhibition is actually unlimited. And for me, I spent about an hour and a half there. There's actually a part that you saw in the vlog at the very beginning. It's kind of like a maze, but not really. It's more so aisles where you walk around and you look at all his different quotes. And you see right away that he loved to journal and write poetry to express his thoughts and feelings. So before we wrap up this review, I wanted to show a few more quotes from Van Gogh, because I think many people can relate and be inspired. Vincent van Gogh was able to transcend and communicate his love and pain into his style of art. He was able to express the simple things in life and make it appear beautiful from art tools he had at his disposal back when resources were limited. I would say he's probably one of my favorite artists because of all the reasons I previously mentioned. He was able to turn his tragic life into an unexpected, everlasting triumph, which will always make his story and art immortal and inspiring. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you want to see more, just subscribe. If you want notifications for new uploads, hit that bell icon. Also, if you could share this video with your family and friends, I would greatly appreciate it. So as always, now and forever, thank you again for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.